My name is Steffani Lee, and I am the Creslane Librarian. This is my 9th year. 6th year as a hired employee. I was a sub for 3 years first. I originally was doing one-on-one with kids, and then the librarian here had to take a leave of absence. And so they called me and asked if I wanted to sub in the library. And I was very excited because I am a definite reader and I love books. And so for me to be surrounded by books every day and get to share books with kids and work with kids was a dream. And so I subbed, and then she retired and I applied for the job and thankfully got it. My favorite book is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I adore that book. I need to read it again. And currently reading is Atomic Habits by, it's a good one. But I love, that one is like a self-improvement type book, I guess you would say, but I love historical fiction. So that's probably my favorite genre to read. Graphic novels are by far super popular in this library. I would say Amulet is probably the most popular. Book 9 finally came out, which wraps up the series. In fiction, I would say Wings of Fire is a very popular series. I Survived is still really good, which is historical fiction. So I love those for the kids. Trying to think other ones. Rick Riordan is another favorite author, especially with the Percy Jackson series out on Netflix, or on Disney Plus, sorry. That one has become popular again. But yeah, I would say those are probably the most popular in the library. Oh my goodness, The Book with No Pictures. Yes, by B.J. Novak. It is a book that the kids always ask me to read, and I will only read it at the end of the year. So they just have to wait until then. But it is always checked out. I've got 2 copies, and kids are always asking for it, and I never have it on the shelf because as soon as it gets turned in, it gets checked out again. Well, obviously by helping them find things to read. That's part of what I love, is to find kids who may be reluctant readers, is to find usually a series, because I want them to know what to come back to. So I like to find series that they might enjoy. So find out what their interests are, like dragons. A lot of kids love dragons. So depending on their age, I've got several dragon series that I can lead them to. So yeah, just finding books that they are interested in and hopefully get them to be reading. I do love when I have moms come in here. I've had moms come in and say, my kid really wants this book. Do you have it? And can you set that aside for them? Or, so I just had a mom do that yesterday because she knew that her kid brought home a book and loved it. And she said, can you please make sure that he gets a second one? So I think there's that, and just finding books for them to read. Kids want to find books that they can read with their parents. And I love when families do that. You know, when they read together. I have a lot of the younger kids who want Magic Tree House to read with their families. And I think that's fantastic. Yeah. So I have become the Oregon Battle of the Books coordinator for our school. So the principal, Amy Halley, and I are pretty much the contacts for OBOB. And so I present it to the kids in October, and it's for 3rd through 5th graders. So I present it to their classes, hand out permission slips, let them know what it's all about. You know, it's 16 books that the kids have to read. They have to make teams of 4 or 5 kids, and they have to read these books thoroughly, like at least 4 to 6 books per kid. And we've got several kids who read all of the books, which is fantastic. But the questions in these battles are they're so crazy because they're on literally 1 page of the book and the kids have to know it. And so that's why they need to read these books over and over again. So yeah, I present it to them in October. They fill out permission slips, turn them in. Teams are pretty much made in November, and they start reading, and we've got battles starting in January normally, at the end of January. And then we've got the real battles in February. And then regionals is in March. Yeah, so we do that March 9th of this year. I love Creslane. I love our school. We have so many amazing volunteers. I have an amazing volunteer that comes and helps me 4 days a week. in Jane. A lot of people know Jane. If you live in Cottage Grove, you definitely know Jane because they see her everywhere, you know, picking up trash and just, anyway, she's an amazing woman and she comes and helps me every day. I love the amount of people that help in our school. And my kids have gone through these schools. I've got a 21-year-old and, you know, he started all the way through, and we would never move out of Creswell until at least our kids are out of school here, just because we love it. It's an amazing district.